you'll never come to Christ. If you're deceived, you'll never come to the antidote that could heal your maladies and diseases. Deception is the devil's chief weapon. It says that the serpent, he didn't tempt away Eve into anger or lust or greed. He deceived her. He tricked her. And I worry that so many people are being tricked because they don't buy the truth. They observe the truth and then they're quick to sell the truth. When you look at some of the battles of Israel, look at the role that deception plays. Look at Judges chapter 7 in the story of Gideon. He's going against 135,000 Midianites against his army of 300. He surrounds them with jars and torches, and at his signal, they all smash the jars and lift up the torches, and they yell, "The sword of the Lord and Gideon!" Maybe that would have startled you. Have you ever been to an arena where all of a sudden the lights go down and everybody puts their phones up and you see thousands of lights? Maybe that would be impressive, but you're talking about 300. That's not what scared them. It says the Lord put the spirit of deception, put the spirit of confusion in the camp. And when the Midianites were deceived, they attacked the wrong people. They started stabbing each other. They started fighting in the tents. They thought the enemy's upon me, but really it was my brother. Really it was my cousin. Really they were just having their own civil war. How many of us could remember a time where we were deceived into thinking that somebody that was truly our friend was really our enemy? We were mad at the wrong person because we had the wrong information. We were upset because we listened to rumors and gossip, and we got all uptight, and we chose the wrong. Deception will cost you valuable relationships. In 2 Samuel chapter 5, the Philistines are going to attack the Israelites, and the Lord causes confusion. The Lord deceives them. He sends a wind that goes over the mulberry bushes, and as that wind goes back and forth, the Philistines go, "Uh-oh, there's a bigger army there. We're in trouble." And they turned tail, tucked, and ran away. How many missed opportunities have you had because you were deceived? You thought, "I'm not good enough. I'm not going to put in that application." Hey, she'll never say yes to the dance with a guy like me. Oh, if only I would have asked her. I remember I had a basketball coach when I was a freshman in college. He was like 55 years old. He was a single guy. And I was nervous to ask a girl out to one of the things, one of the banquets or such. And he turned around while he was driving. It was not a good moment for him. And he's like, "You better ask that girl to that banquet." I go, "Why do you say that, coach?" He goes, I've been single for 35 years. And I wish I could go back to college. And I would have asked that girl out. And I can remember her name. He's recounting this sad story about how he got scared and never asked her out. And I was like, "Coach, that was 35 years ago. You ever gone on dates?" He's like, "No." I said, "Dude, he wished he could go back." But because he had the wrong deception in his mind, "I'm not worthy. She'll never say yes," he lost out on a lot of good living. Those of us that have made some calculated risk, we went for that job. We asked that girl. We stepped up. We did what we were scared to do. There's a great payoff, isn't there? But when you are deceived, it steals from you. Look at 2 Kings chapter 3. There's another great story of a battle that was won by deception. The king of Israel had come out with the Edomites and some of the other kings. And they had run out of food. And there they were in the wilderness, out of water. And they said, "What are we going to do? We're all going to die here." And the enemy gates weren't far away. And the prophet said, "Start digging ditches." And the Lord filled the ditches with water. And then all the animals could drink and all the soldiers could drink. But the enemy that was up on the wall, they said, "Hey, look, we see pools of blood." They were deceived. And they said, "Let's charge them." They've turned on each other. Charge! And the enemy came running thinking that those pools of water were pools of blood when they weren't. They didn't even grab their armor. They hardly grabbed their weapons. They just ran into the fray. The Israelites grabbed their weapons and they won a great victory. Sometimes we are deceived into thinking we can do things we can't do. You see, deception truly does have the highest price. So what ought we to do? Number one, you ought to find the truth. One of the 10 commandments, Exodus chapter 20, is do not bear false witness. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21 says, test those things. Test everything and see what's good. Would you like it if there was a detective that didn't really do his job and there was a detective that says, "I don't really need to know the truth. You kind of look guilty. Get him." You know, you